Here we go. All right. Testing.
And we're back. Hi. Welcome back to Not Coming Soon.
Hi.
My name is Ryan.
I'm Jeff.
And you got my co-star over there, Jeff. And we're just stoked to have you, as always, to Not Coming Soon. We are on part 2 of Marvin, Mulder and Watney LLC. Is that a law firm? No, that is an ad agency that is trying to help the government prove to the masses that aliens exist. And shenanigans will ensue.
They'll ensue.
They'll ensue. Before we get back to that story, though, we're going to start off, as always, with what we're watching.
Always.
Just a little banter about stuff that's going on, stuff we're looking at. So, to start us off, Jeff, what you got watching?
So, last time, for our last episode, we discussed the Planet of the Apes movies.
We did.
And you had seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I had not seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes yet. I have since seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and I think that we have differing opinions on Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
I did not love this movie.
Okay.
Visually stunning.
Very, very stunning, yes.
The world that they have digitally created, incredible.
Mm-hmm.
The apes look amazing. They move amazing. The hair is just uncanny.
Actually, seriously.
Very happy with that. I thought that they had a lot of ideas that they they just weren't interested in developing further. So there's okay, let's talk about the religious aspect. Oh, that's really interesting. You Caesar, there's 2 different branches in which you can interpret Caesar's teachings and the leadership lessons of Caesar. Okay, great. Very cool. Let's digest that a little bit. Let's dig a little bit deeper. I didn't really do that for us. It was like a vague sense of something that was sitting over the top of things. I thought it was really interesting that they were like, okay, all of the apes, this was an infectious disease. This was not something that was just harmful to humans as an infectious thing. It was also infectious, and it infected other apes. It spread globally. It wasn't just isolated to this one group of apes, which is all we saw in the first, or in the Rise, Dawn, War trilogy. Really interesting that there are other factions of apes that have also developed and gotten smarter. Really interesting.
Yes. Great point too, because that was, not much is missing from the first 3, but if anything, what I would think of from time to time is we're missing the scale. It's of Planet of the Apes from Dawn, Rise, War. That was the only thing that was like, it seems isolated when the point of this is planet, but nitpicky.
Yeah.
I appreciated the larger scale.
So I liked the larger scale, but I didn't feel like they talked about Caesar's group at all. The only thing that we saw of Caesar's group was Proximus and the group that they had just kidnapped. So there was there was one orangutan that was interested in following the teachings of Caesar and reading and being educated in that way. But there was no tribal council that was advising Proximus. There was nothing like that. They were all just mindless warriors. There was no there was still just a focus on one faction of apes, and then there was just this villain group. And then I would have loved some more time with Proximus. He was sick.
He's very cool in the commanding of the screen.
He was.
Have you seen the interviews with him? He'll like dive back into it's like, and his voice too.
Incredible. I thought that I think that was an unexplored asset. They could have done so much more. Like he was barely in the movie, and
it took him way longer to show up than I thought, given the marketing material.
And I would have liked to have seen, like, in my mind, a version of this movie that I would have liked better was a two-sided story where you were going back and forth between Noah and Proximus, or somebody in the Caesar camp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where they were trying to, because we just showed up and they were like, okay, we have this dam that has exposed this door. We need to get into this door. There's nobody that is like advising Proximus on there's something behind this door that we don't get to see the point where William H. Macy's character divulges that. We don't get to see anything like that. And William H. Macy, I also thought was wasted. I just felt like it was a movie of half ideas that were really, really cool ideas that I was really interested in, but I didn't get to explore any of them.
I wish the aspect that I didn't love was I kind of wish we went full on into the committing to watching this Planet of the Apes and leaving humanity kind of behind for now. I when they came back to her and then the ending, I didn't love that ending. I wish it ended on the cliff, because that
was really cool
chills of that scene.
But I think
they're like world building. I think they're trying. Maybe it's this. They don't know exactly where they want to go for these 5 sequels that they have planned.
That's crazy.
So they like set up like 3 different ones. Yeah. Whereas you should probably write at least the next movie so that you know exactly where you're gonna go.
That's a good point, because I felt like they like you said, they just set themselves up for a bunch of other movies. Like they was like, here are these characters that we're gonna follow for the next few movies. But with each piece of the previous trilogy, it's like, this is a story that we're telling, and these are characters that you're going to be invested in, and you'll want to come back and see more of these characters because you liked their story before. In this one, it was like, here are these stories. This girl sucks, but you're human, so you're gonna like the human, and you'll be interested in following the human more.
Yeah. When there's a clear through line of Don Rye's War, like, you could cut that to be a really, really long movie. But this one wraps up in a way, except for the satellite dishes still work.
Dude, there's no friggin' way those satellite dishes work.
That's what they wanting to, I don't know. And the time that has passed, and you have the wild humans, which didn't really, they look like normal humans, like dressed up to be wild. I know that's exactly what they were, but they kind of they actually look more wild in the 1968 one, where there's like wild humans.
Yeah.
This one looked kind of odd. But then there's a group that is still fully intelligent. Like,
yeah, and that was not super well explained in my opinion. It was just
that's why I wish it was. I wish we really focused. Wish we really focused on the apes, because they're cooler. I mean, we're not.
Yeah, I guess that they were worried, like, human audiences need to see a human piece of this, I guess. But I don't know.
Well, that's what's cool though, is that you have these human elements. They're just not from human characters.
Yeah.
It's like this is consistent behavior.
Interesting. Yeah.
Across cousins, if you will.
Yeah.
But
hey, I don't want to yuck
just-
your yum on this. Like,
No. What you're saying, I felt to a degree. I was just, I think, and I was thinking about this because I saw your review on Letterboxd, and I think I hyped you up too much.
Yeah,
I think
maybe.
because I'm coming in and telling you this is great, which I did not like it. Everyone, actually, like I'm holding true to that. I did very much like it, but in the vein of the setup movie.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Like, they needed world building because to get you back to where you felt like you understood. Like, it was easy in Dawn. It starts in modern time. It's very easy to associate yourself with that. They didn't really need to do
Rise.
too much, and then it dives into Rise. I'm sorry. I get really confused.
Yeah.
I feel like those are incorrect.
They're incorrect.
Dawn, you can't get earlier than the dawn.
Yeah.
You know, and then you write that anyway. But thank you.
Yeah.
This one, it's like, okay, that's why I loved the first two scenes. I love the opening and I love the egg retrieval.
Yeah.
Because you remind us of the end of war, and you set us on the path for how these apes will evolve community-wise, and then you set us up with how this tribe works.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
Yeah.
I was probably most nervous for the beginning, and so I saw that, and I liked that progression, and I'm like, this is amazing. This is great.
Yeah. No, I get that. That's totally fair. Well, I think that's enough. I think we've... do you have...
True. But the cliff scene. Love the cliff scene.
Okay.
Good
you know
chant.
what didn't make any... Sorry, one more thing, and then we can move on.
Yes.
The water level wasn't that high. It was like maybe
There's
10
no way.
feet.
There's no... I was thinking that myself. That doesn't make any sense. Why would the water couldn't rush in and get higher than the ocean outside?
Yeah.
I was thinking that too. Especially when it got over the dam, I'm like, okay, that really shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. It's like only a problem in that it will flood maybe the first level, like up to the top of a tank. Like, it's not...
Right.
The dam wasn't that tall.
No. That's great.
Yeah, okay. So that's... moving on. Moving on. So I think you watched something that I had seen in the previous
Yes. The Fall Guy.
The Fall Guy.
Had a delightful solo matinee.
Very nice.
What I would like to say first and foremost is, can we unironically make Metal Storm with Jason Momoa, directed by Emily Blunt? Can we just do? Let's not. Come on. Let's just do it. Are you kidding me? No, it's high noon at the edge of the universe. Are you joking? Like, that cannot be wasted on a make believe movie.
It's high noon
Come
at the
on.
edge of the universe.
I would watch the heck out of that. Oh, and I need to find where those sunglasses are, the Ryan Gosling sunglasses with they're like gold banded and then have like flat. Those are dope. Those are dope. Great fun.
Great fun. Great fun, that film.
Yeah.
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 Nothing groundbreaking, but great fun. I was worried about it having too much CGI from the trailers. Like, because the movie, the trailers, I feel like people are cutting trailers terribly, because The Fall Guy and Furiosa, I saw those trailers and I was like, those are going to be CGI messes. What happened? And the Fall, like, because my perception of The Fall Guy was like, oh, we're going to be big into stunts. David Leitch, stuntman. He's really cool. Like, he's really into practical stunts. And then I saw the trailer. I was like, there's a lot of just messy cars rolling around, and they look very digital. But I was very impressed by the practicalness of The Fall Guy. I liked it.
Yeah.
Thought it was
I'm specifically thinking of the scene in the back of it's not really a dump truck, but the like truck where they're flipping around.
Yeah.
And it's like they're doing this fight scene.
Yes.
It's what's the word I'm looking for? Audacious has a negative connotation. What's like a respectful way to say audacious?
Respectful way to say audacious. Ostentatious? What, like, bold?
Bold, I guess, is that's
ambitious?
The vibe. Ambitious. That's what I was looking for. Thank you very much. It was an ambitious scene. Yes. I respect the difficulty of shooting that and editing that, but it's just like slightly too. Yeah. You could tell, but
for the most part, I was like, man, they did a lot of this just practically. I mean, there's always like kind of like green, yeah, exactly. There's always like green screen around. There's like different things that they have to like put in digitally. They'll do things for real, but they'll like put themselves in an environment that's a little bit safer. But
right, yeah.
But overall, I thought that a lot of it was really, really nicely done and looked great.
Yeah, I was hoping there'd be a couple of, you know how sometimes, especially in older movies, like you can tell, like, and they poke fun at this in The Fall Guy. You can tell it's the stunt double. Like, you can see their face or something. I was hoping they would do like a full frame shot of the stunt guy, like Ryan Gosling's stunt guy.
That would have been funny.
But I was like, is that too meta? Can they not? Is that not what we're trying to do here?
But yeah, I had a lot of fun. It seemed like they had a lot of fun filming it, and that definitely comes through. And sometimes you can tell that they have fun, and it's just a mess of a movie, and that's why they had fun. But this was just like seemed like a fun time that they just got to do a lot of cool stuff on.
Yeah, and they thought hard enough about the story of it too. It's an intricate web to be intriguing and entertaining.
Yeah,
just from a story perspective, they didn't lean too heavily on the stunt gimmick.
Yeah. No,
good little thriller action, fun romance comedy.
Aaron Taylor Johnson just put him in everything, man.
Yeah.
You know what? He's gonna save the Sony villain verse.
Oh, Kraven?
Yeah.
Kraven the Hunter?
Kraven the Hunter.
Heck yeah. Did we find it ironic when Ryan Gosling, a chiseled man himself, is telling Aaron Taylor Johnson to eat carbs?
Dude,
look at mirror, pal.
Ryan Gosling looks great. Aaron Taylor Johnson is on another level. Like,
he was wearing the robe. Like, what does that feel like?
Yeah.
What are you? I've wondered this. Like, you're not flexing because that's just your natural body apparently at this point.
But
how are you? I don't.
Anyway, there's also Hollywood tricks where he's probably massively dehydrated, like so that it shrinks the skin a little bit, tightens everything up a little bit more. So
that's a Hugh Jackman. I heard that from.
No water weight.
He would do that. Yeah. He said that's terribly unhealthy.
Yeah,
and it makes sense. I can't imagine shooting a scene dehydrated. Like, severely.
Dude, I am debilitated when I'm dehydrated.
Same. I cannot.
I'm
focus.
in such a bad mood.
Produce emotion. Yeah. And you like hear stories of actors like in Indiana Jones, I think it's Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah, the one where he shoots the guy with the.
He's just like super sick, and they had something.
He's like
choreographed.
Got like a fever, like 100-degree fever, and he like couldn't do the fight scene, so they like ad-lib that little bit. And I'm like, dude, how?
Yeah, how you doing that?
Amazing.
I don't know.
Speaking of Harrison Ford.
Okay. Let's see how this transition goes.
Using him to segue over into the Star Wars universe.
All right. What do we got?
I'm currently watching a little television show. A little animated television show on Disney Plus.
Okay.
I broke down, and there's a reason for this. I'm watching.
Let him
Clone
finish.
Wars.
Let him finish.
I'm watching the Clone Wars, and before you tell me it's a children's cartoon, I understand that, but I got a Rex minifig from a 25th anniversary Lego set, and then the Rex helmet, the Lego helmet at Target was on sale. So now I have 2 Rex Lego pieces. Captain Rex, who's a clone trooper who fought in the Clone Wars. I'm like, I should know more about this individual, and he's in the television show The Clone Wars. And Jeff, I know you.
I couldn't finish it because I got ridiculed for watching a children's show, a cartoon. I got ridiculed for it. Laughed out of the room.
Yeah. See, this is why I approached this with caution, because this was me. I'm the one that did this to him. And I feel terrible about it. And I like it took me a long time to hit play on the first episode because I'm like, can I go back on all the terror? Can I live with myself? Can I sleep at night? Turns out I can't, because The Clone Wars is a delightful show. It's very cool. You get to see a lot of the Star Wars universe that you know is there from the movies, but you never really get to experience.
And I think it's great in the context of a cartoon.
Yeah. They go hard, and it's cinematic in a lot of different areas.
I think it has fallen apart as it's tried to jump into live action. All of the Star Wars shows, besides maybe the first season of The Mandalorian, are just cartoons that they brought people in to film.
Yeah.
Did you hear something?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Cut that.
But I see what you're saying. Well, you have the stuff that we've seen in the movies moved to cartoon form. And yeah, it's they look different, features are exaggerated, stuff like that. But when you come up with a character that only exists in animation, apparently that's a lot harder to do to make them look as cool in real life.
Yeah, but it's also the like storytelling of it. The TV nature is that you just have so much more time to tell all these stories. You have to add different things in to the storytelling, and you have to like, I don't know, the story can't be as succinct as you have it in a movie. In the shows, they expect a lot of explanation of this lore stuff. There are throwaway lines in the Star Wars movies that have entire season arcs in the Clone Wars TV show. And I don't think it works as well when it's transferred into that live action show. Like there are cool moments in the Obi-Wan show. There are cool moments in some of the things. But if you think about like the show, the Boba Fett show, and put that in the context of what the Clone Wars cartoon is like, it's a little bit more palatable.
Okay.
Does what I'm saying makes any sense at all?
No, it totally makes sense. Well, the TV show does it's a perfect way to tell the story of the Clone Wars. I don't think the Clone Wars works as a movie.
Yeah.
Because they're going across the galaxy with skirmishes here and there, as they try to fight the separatists. It's too big of a story to shove into a movie, and you can jump from, hey, here's what Obi-Wan and Anakin are doing. Here's what Yoda's doing. Like, and these are different episodes, and they're all over the place. Yeah. It's like it's a great way to tell that. Yeah. That you just can't do in a show or movie that's dedicated to a specific storyline. Yeah. It's too big.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
But it's fun. There's scenes where they go to General Grievous's hideout, and there's statues of him pre-cyborg, and the dude's got like a man cave just of himself.
Was he all human or an alien?
He was an alien. Okay. I didn't get a great look at these statues because I didn't know at the time. They're just in this a mysterious place, and they're like, "What is all this?" And then eventually they walk into the room where all of Grievous's spare parts are, and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" So I'd have to go back and really look at the detail to know.
Okay.
But it's cool because it's like him like killing Jedi, and he's like robed and looks like a monster.
Cool. Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, I don't know if that works as a like. I don't know if you have the budget to do it as a like live action show, like the.
Oh yeah, that'd be huge.
Yeah, it's like a really big endeavor, and you either have to make it look chintzy or you have to make it look like a low budget video game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Another character that pops up that doesn't necessarily translate to the live screen very well is the Cad Bane bounty hunter.
Oh yeah, he did not look great in.
Dude is dope in the Clone Wars show, and then he's just like slightly too puffy.
Yes.
And he's in Boba Fett, right? Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, because he's super thin in the in the cartoon, like even his face is like inhumanly thin.
Yes.
Not so and
not quite.
And he's
anyway
much less. I think it hurts like a lot, especially Clone Wars fans, because you see him so dominant in the
totally.
in the cartoon, and then he comes to Boba Fett and he's out in 2 episodes.
Yeah.
It's like, so maybe just better told as a cartoon that has a lot more leeway and episodes to play with.
Yeah, totally. He can bounce in and out without too much fuss. So I sincerest apologies. I wish I could take it all back. That was narrow-minded of me because it's actually very fun. And it's just, if you like Star Wars, there's no just go watch. It's fun.
Yeah.
You get to see Grievous in like full glory. You get to see him fight with the 4 arms once, and it doesn't go well in the actual movie. And you're like, this dude's OP. Why is he not? Why don't we have more of him? You get a ton of them here. Kit Fisto, the green guy, very awesome. You probably played with him on Lego Star Wars. Get to see him in action. Plo Koon, very cool. A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's cool. I'm excited to watch episode 3 again after this. Although episode 3 makes this entire show extremely sad. Debilitatingly sad. Dude, Kenobi's like hanging out with Cody, and you're just like, you two-faced.
I think that they do things in the show where I won't spoil anything for you for the show.
Well, where they like they're well aware where this is going,
or
is that
like
what you're gonna say?
Some of the clones are like, I'm aware of this inhibitor chip in my brain that
some of them start to like,
I'm gonna take it out and I'll be loyal to the Jedi.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like fan favorites. They're like, wow, these guys, right? They're too fan favorite-y to make them turn bad. Obviously, they're too loyal to these
characters. Too much. Like it would diminish everything we've done throughout this show if they do what they do in episode 3. Wow. But
yeah.
So I got that going.
Got that.
Got that.
Are you watching anything else, or are we?
We've probably gone over time, but we're watching the original Mad Max movies.
Okay.
And so we start. The first one I think is just Mad Max, and Mel Gibson, his first theatrical movie role, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is an Australian picture. It's like shot in Australia. Everyone's Australian. Mel Gibson was born in the U.S. but then moved to Australia when he was like.
Is that right?
At some point, yeah, because we were like, I thought he was American, but he was over there and trying to get into movies.
Wow.
He got Mad Max.
That's awesome. Good for. Good for him. But I don't know how I feel about him. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So the first one is not what it's not what you're expecting from what we know the Tom Hardy and Furiosa.
Yeah, because I have only seen
versions are
the Fury Road and the most recent Furiosa. So that is all I knew, and it seems like not something that they would be able to do in the 80s, 70s. When was this?
The first one was 79.
Whoa.
I think 78 or 79. Late 70s.
Okay.
And then the sequels. There's 3 of them, I believe. Mad Max. Oh, what's this? I can't remember the second one. The third one's Thunder.
I think it's. I think it was released in the U.S. as Mad Max 2, but I think it's Mad Max Road Warrior.
Yeah, Road Warrior. You're correct. That's right. Yes. So 2, and I'm assuming 3. We haven't watched 3 yet. Those are like what you're expecting from the Tom Hardy ones. The first one it's like not it's supposed to be futuristic, not necessarily post-apocalypse.
Huh.
There's not really an apocalypse. It's just society has broken down a little bit. But it's like Australia has, I think, is like the point. Like this secluded island is now operating this way, and they have police officers, and Mel Gibson's a police officer. And there's a certain stretch of road where these hooligans just are like running crazy. And there's a biker gang. So it's heavily on the road, and it's a lot of it is the stronger engine wins. So like that's where it kind of starts, where it becomes what it turns into. But yeah, it's like pretty normal life with Mel Gibson being this police officer, and then at the end there's like the big standoff with this biker gang, and he takes some hits that you wouldn't be able to just kind of shake off, but he shakes them off, and you'll know when you watch it. It's like, okay, you would be out of commission, my friend. So it ends with him facing these guys because they do something bad to him, and he gets back at them.
Okay.
Pretty normal. I mean, like, how you would think. It's not in America, so it's not like any of the, if you're thinking of like cop movies in New York or LA, it's not like that. But it's similar arcs. There's a villain, he hits you, you hit back. They're on motorcycles. That's it.
Okay.
The second one, and you can tell it's like they made the first one. It did better probably than they were expecting. And then they're like, all right, here we go. Let's up the ante. So in between 1 and 2, World War III happens.
Okay.
And now Australia is just this wasteland. People kept some of their vehicles, and everyone's hunting for gas. Complete, like, and then it's still Mel Gibson.
Fascinating.
But, like, yeah. Because I'm watching the first one, I'm like, how the heck does this turn into what I've seen because I haven't seen the Tom Hardy one, so I'm like, where did they get that from this?
Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm curious. I would encourage you strongly to finish your marathon and go see Furiosa before it leaves theaters.
Okay. The big screen.
The big screen. It's. Yeah. I think it's worth it. I'm not going to cloud anything. I'm not gonna give you any indication of. I did not see Fury Road in theaters, and I regret not being able to see Fury Road in theaters now that I've seen Furiosa in theaters.
Yes. Well, I mean, who could forget the freaking run on the Oscars that Mad Max Fury Road had? It was like every single category of makeup and effects, and it was like that was like the joke that year. It was like, and the winner is Mad Max Fury Road. Best documentary, Mad Max, Fury Road.
It's crazy that guy's been directing Mad Max movies since 1979.
Yeah. And, Babe, Pig in the Big City? He has some wild cards out there. Yeah. Go look at it.
Did it? Happy Feet, I think.
Happy Feet. I think you're right. Yeah.
Guy's crazy. Wild card.
I want to meet this person.
I don't.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Oh yeah, the heavy on the leather immediately.
Yeah.
And
I don't know how the originals are, but the Wasteland gets pretty grody. It's pretty nasty. Like there are some parts. So like I don't know if it's always been like that in the franchise, but from what you said, it doesn't seem that way. I think he's been given a lot of leeway in Fury Road and Furiosa.
Yeah. Well, and it could be too. It's just because there's definitely the depravity.
Yes, depravity.
Is a
That's
theme
great word to describe it.
It's apparent, and it's a part of it in the original ones, and it's potentially just they couldn't get away with as much as they could get away with as they grew in notoriety.
Anyway,
but because there are assless chaps in the first one.
Okay.
Inexplicably. No, that's the second. Wait, that's the second one. I'm very sorry. Road Warrior has assless chaps. Road Warrior has. Yeah, dude, the plunge from 1 to 2.
Yeah. Well, I mean, World War III happens between them.
World War III happens. It's true.
All right. Well, should we go into part 2 of Marvin, Mulder and Watney LLC?
Heck yeah. LLC. Do you want to give us a recap of where we left the fans off last time?
Yeah, so basically, I think you covered most of what we've gone through in the beginning, but it centers around a marketing agency that has been tasked by the government to convince the population of the existence of aliens. Not to trick the people into thinking that aliens exist, but to convince them that they exist because they do. So
yes, and there's potentially an issue on the horizon that the people can help with, and they need the support.
They need to prepare for something that's potentially coming. They need to be aware of the existence. That's the first step. And
yes,
there is not any movement from the populace in the direction. This is inspired by the things that have kind of been coming out recently with governmental hearings and people pretty high up who have been saying there are aliens. We've known about them for a while. Here's a picture of me seeing an alien in a government jet. So,
right.
And everybody's just kind of like, yeah, sure, all right, whatever.
Okay, pal. Okay, pal.
So
classic.
So we're centered around this marketing agency who I think there was ideas thrown around that they were the agency that came up with Bigfoot and sold the famous iconic shot of Bigfoot walking by a riverbank.
Yes, classic.
Selling all those T-shirts. So they've made their bank on Bigfoot. So now it's time to move on and help the government tell the tale of aliens.
Yes. Excellent. And so one thing, I don't know if this gets too silly.
Okay.
But I would like to see if we can incorporate the raid on Area 51 that was like a Facebook group that people put together, and then like 20 people showed up. Do you remember
yes,
that?
It was like
2016
or
something.
So it was like a Facebook group that said we were going to raid Area 51.
They can't stop us all.
So our agency came up with that idea. Is that
I'm thinking.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of their viral marketing attempts is to have everybody jump in and raid Area 51. Excellent.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that fails. So do we just want? This is interesting ideas. How do we like make a like a narrative out of this?
I think that part of the beginning, maybe, or early on, there is communication between the aliens and the government.
Okay.
That conveys the seriousness of the situation.
Okay.
To the audience, and so the audience knows in this universe, aliens exist and they're going to be doing something bad to the Earth.
Okay.
And so then the clock's ticking on the ad agency that needs to convince them, as we intermittently go back and see the progress between the negotiations between the government and the aliens.
Okay. Yeah.
And maybe that those negotiations have something to do with the community involvement.
Okay. Yeah. So we are like following a high-level government agency that is tasked with both negotiating with the aliens, but also convincing the public that aliens exist and they could potentially be a problem.
Yeah, that individual is our sight into the government, but I still think we mainly focus on the people working for the ad agency.
Okay, so we've got the government piece negotiating with the aliens, and they've contracted this. So this is kind of like Coen Brothers-y, like Burn After Reading kind of feel to it, where it's like government secrets and kind of buffoonish.
Yeah. Okay. I see. Yeah, I'm getting it now. Yeah. Yeah, like it's a play on the because the paranoia of government secrets from the public is what's driving everyone crazy, and it turns out the government couldn't care less about these people and what they have. So now it's like the flip side of that, where they need someone to believe in them, and they don't. Yeah, I see that.
Cool. So then on the marketing agency side, we have, what do you want to do? Do you want to do like a montage of different initiatives that they try to do? Do you want to have a bunch of like boardroom pitch meetings where they're kind of going after different ideas? We could do like a clip thing where we're in the boardroom and we're pitching ideas, and then we show those ideas being implemented after they're pitched.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So what we could do is we hear the pitch, and then if we're using Area 51, we go to like report footage, probably from like that actual occurrence. I don't know if we can get this.
Yes.
And like how it's this big joke of internet people like making fun of Area 51, and then it goes back to the boardroom and they're like,
yes, that's excellent.
Yeah.
So like we show failures like that.
Yeah.
Where you have the meeting where they're pitching, okay, we show like a flashy marketing presentation where they're like viral marketing, influencer marketing.
Yes.
And they put like they're like headshots of different influencers that they're targeting to plant these stories, get people to show up at Area 51 and go into Area 51. They're gonna leave the keys. They're gonna leave everything
it's like
unlocked.
actually open. Yes.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's so funny. Yeah.
And then it's just a bunch of weirdos in like little green men costumes.
Okay, do you remember? I remember one news reel from it where there's somebody's reporting on it, and the like line of people is in the background, and some dude Naruto runs across the.
Perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for.
That's fantastic.
Sweet.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh! Yeah, it turns out it was they actually wanted you to come in. That's great. That's great.
Okay, so then I think we do like a few of those. We have like a disheartened moment where it's like they get a little bit more desperate and they just like start sending people and do the like congressional hearings. They start doing the like just having as official as the government will let them go on like cable news and say directly, this is happening, people. There are aliens out there.
Right.
We like
Yeah.
need you to be prepared.
Yes.
And then they come.
We're not
Is that
prepared.
how
Yeah, and we're not
And then-
prepared. Do you think we can get the Ancient Aliens guy from the History Channel?
I don't know. He's pretty busy with Ancient Aliens.
That's true, but that would be a great get.
A great get.
You throw him in to the
Yeah.
multiple sequences of people actually who know what they are talking about, like telling the truth, and this guy's like, "See, I told you," and it just like plays.
Yeah. Perfect.
Do we mention Roswell at all? Is it like, hey, back in the when was Roswell? 60s?
Is Roswell with the like Area 51? Isn't that like tied
I
together?
think so.
Yeah. So I think we can do it in the context of that.
Okay. Because it was like they asked him about Roswell, and that's like, well, we thought there was going to be a situation, so we thought about trying to get people involved, and then we reneged. We took it back. We decided not to, so we covered that whole thing.
Yeah. Cool.
Nice. Yep. And then the aliens come.
Aliens come and take them all out.
Yeah.
Fun.
Nice.
Really uplifting ending.
Yeah. Or it could be. We could go this way. It's they eventually are. They're really desperate, and they're just going around polling like, what? Why aren't you guys listening? And they're like, oh, we believe you. We just don't care.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
All right. Well.
A little anticlimactic, that one, but that or it's like, oh, we believe you. I just paid $100 for 6 groceries. I don't have time to worry about aliens. Maybe
that could be.
That's
funny.
actually very funny because it's like, hey, spend the money to fix these issues that are actually plaguing people. Instead of trying to get them to believe in aliens, we could go that route.
I like that route. Actually.
I do too.
It like moves it away from like, don't look up.
Exactly. Yeah, it definitely does. Okay, a little slight audible here.
Slot audible. In the 11th hour.
In the 11th hour, we turn it around. So yes, it's not so much that the government is trying to prevent alien invasion. It's the government getting mad that people aren't believing in aliens when they actually exist. And it turns out people do. They believe you. They just don't care because they have too much else to worry about.
Boom.
Boom. Written and directed. By Pre-Production Pictures.
Sweet. Pre-Production Pictures.
Heck yeah. Nice.
All right. Well, next week I think we'll talk about who we like the individual characters and who we want to be in this thing.
I like it. Yep.
But for now, I have a connection for you.
Oh, yes, please.
And this one, I have not found myself, so it could be super easy and it could be super difficult.
Excellent.
We'll see. I want you to take me from Tom Hardy to Emily Blunt.
Tom Hardy to Emily Blunt. All right, here we go. Maybe I didn't. Oh my gosh, that was weird. It like everything clicked and I was like, got it.
Yeah.
And then it was gone. Nothing was there. I just lost where. Oh, I see what I did. Okay. Man, I'll tell you. I mean, this makes sense, but Inception and Dark Knight Rises just felt like the same movie to me. So I was like, Tom Hardy, Anne Hathaway, Devil Wears Prada, Emily Blunt. Oh. But I'm so okay. So. Oh my gosh, that's why my brain is doing so many weird things right now. That's weird. I was picturing Tom Hardy's character in Inception, which is obviously directed by Christopher Nolan, and then Dark Knight Rises, which is also directed by Christopher Nolan, and I was like, Tom Hardy's, and no, that's Inception. I'm thinking of Inception. And then Bane is just sitting right there.
Right in front of you.
Gosh. I that must have been my initial thought, and then my brain just blanked. So anyway, yeah. Dark Knight Rises, Tom Hardy's Bane. Anne Hathaway is Catwoman. And then Anne Hathaway's in The Devil Wears Prada with Emily Blunt.
There you go.
There you go. That was unnecessary. Lego Batman movie, anyway.
Great flick. Well,
yes.
Good job.
Thank you.
Much faster than last week. I'm not even going to have to put any fast forwarding things in there.
Beautiful. That's a first.
That is a first for both of us.
Yeah. Nice.
So, out of way.
Thank you. Proud of that.
All right. Well, I think we might be ready to wrap her up here.
I think so. We did.
I think that puts a nail in Marvin, Mulder, and Watney LLC.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Not the full coffin. We're not.
Not the
we're
full
not.
coffin.
We're not digging 6 feet just yet.
No.
That's part 3's job.
Part 3 coming at you when it come at you.
Yeah. Who knows when that would be? We don't even know when 2 is coming at you. So you'll get it when you get it. Okay.
Here's your slop. Thanks for coming around,
Appreciate
guys.
it, yes.
We sincerely want to thank you for sticking around to the end here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
On average,
You
guys eat out of here around 5 minutes. So if you're here, you're family.
Yep. It makes it worse that you watch that much. I'd rather you turn it on for like 2 seconds, hear my voice, and dip, than 5 minutes. 5 minutes is like you sitting there, almost hate listening. And then you eventually just get so upset you turn it off. So, anyway, we don't get paid either way. So.
Well, and either way, whether you're listening to this or not,
Yeah.
we sincerely hope you get to where you're going.
That's right. Yeah, apparently some of you guys got places to go quicker than others. Mr. and Mrs. 5 minutes. But we hope you get there. If you're in a rush, you're in a rush. So.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
We get it.
We get it. We're nothing if not human. You know. So yeah. Until next time.
I've been Joe.
And I've been Ryan. And catch you next time. Out. Get out.
Get out.
And
Leave.
here.